Hello everyone, this is Jar Jar is a Sith from UO Singularity, bringing to you a short video about the new Mastery system. So the first thing we'll ask about this new system is what exactly are Masteries? So the Mastery system is essentially the culmination of 3 months of dev work that have added a grand total of 66 unique activatable abilities to the game. That's 6 abilities for each class. You'll see here I'm on the Demonologist in-game, and I've got 6 new abilities down here on my cooldown bar. And this is the Mastery cooldown bar. So each class has 3 tiers of Mastery abilities that are unlocked as soon as the player unlocks the class. And each tier has 2 abilities that have a shared cooldown that can be tracked on this bar. Let's go ahead and see this in action real quick. I'll go ahead and jump into a dungeon. Let me see. Let's go to Despice here. We've got some open area. So here on the Demonologist, we'll take a look at this first tier here. We've got Blood for Blood and Fade. So Blood for Blood is basically going to heal you and the lowest health player within a range of 10. And grant you some defensives. And has, of course, a lot of details on the ability here. You can read through later. Fade is basically a teleport plus invisibility for 10 seconds ability, which, of course, has some usefulness in both PvE and PvP. You'll notice, actually, with the design, the general design of Masteries is that both abilities will have some impact in PvP and PvE, although one might situationally be more favored for PvP versus PvE, and that's of course up to the discretion of the player to decide which one to use. Whenever we do decide to use a Mastery, you'll notice if I use Fade over here and go invisible for 10 seconds, you'll notice that both of these abilities went on cooldown immediately. And that is because each Mastery tier shares a cooldown. So you do have to make your choices because it does impact what else you can do after that. And that's just a little overview of the general mastery system here. So I'm on the Demonologist class. I'll show you a little bit of more gameplay here. This is my demon, a Balron that you can summon. And that's just a part of the base core class of the Demonologist. And you'll notice I can also now become a Gargoyle, which gives me a different kind of playstyle for a limited duration in PvE and PvP, where my auto attacks will actually cast spells instead of doing the normal auto attacks, which you'll see here in a minute. I'm wearing a mage weapon bow, so as soon as I come out of this form, I'll go back to firing my bow instead of spells, and then leave my Balron over there to die, so I can come back over here and talk a little bit more about the system. So the next question we have about the Mastery system that you might have is, why did we add this system? So basically, this is our response to what I feel is a fundamental kind of design flaw of the Ultima Online game, where there's a vast disparity in the depth of playstyle for warrior archetypes versus mages. So essentially, melee or even ranged warrior playstyles were very one-dimensional in their capabilities, limited mostly to simply running at or away from their enemies. There's really not much you can do as a melee player at the crux of things. You can take some extra abilities, you can take hiding, you can take poisoning, you can take spirit speaking, heal yourself a little bit, but essentially you're just running at things. Or if you're dying, you're running away from them. And that's pretty much your only decision-making as a Dexer. And it's kind of a core design flaw. And that core design flaw has kind of, bled into the game for a very long time, where you'll notice that I think on the OSI servers, I don't think they even do Dexter tournaments. You don't even take it seriously. It's basically just, what mage template are you going to use in this tournament? And usually everybody's using the same template. So it's like, there's almost like this illusion of depth to the normal skill system in game. But now that we have this class framework, we have the ability to give different sets of unique abilities to different skill sets, really allowing us to one, add depth to these decks or playstyles, and add uniqueness to a variety of different decks or playstyles. And of course, the most important thing that we're after here is just that depth, where it doesn't feel so bad to be a Dexter. One of the worst things being a Dexter is just like you're winning a fight. You get 2 good hits in, your enemies have 1 health left, and then of course he's a mage, so he just teleports away, heals up to full, and you're just like kind of jogging after him there, and there's no way for you to get to him. And of course, historically people just didn't play Dexters. Or if they played a Dexter, they had Magery in their kit as well, because you needed to be able to teleport after your enemy to finish them, and things like that. So this is really looking to fill in those kind of power gaps, allowing Dexters ways to silence enemies, pull their enemies, CC their enemies, really essentially set up and land and secure those kills for their team, or protect their teammates, through that kind of physical prowess that they have. And of course, it also allowed us to build out, support type abilities, these kind of cool, polymorph effect abilities, and just really define each class to its unique point, giving everyone a little bit more depth and definition. Okay, so the next thing you might want to know about this system is just how do you unlock these masteries. So unlocking these masteries is incredibly easy. All you need to do is unlock your class. As soon as you're level 1, this cooldown bar that you see on the bottom of the screen here is going to show up for you, and it's going to be there for you. You can click the Masteries button here to open your book and start learning about those different masteries, and immediately make use of them. The reason we went through this, rather than forcing players to just grind out some sort of kill 5,000 monsters to unlock your next mastery type deal, is because we want these abilities available immediately for classes, and we want also to keep PvP footing as even as possible, especially in battleground scenarios. So that's the primary reason why we have this availability of these masteries as soon as you unlock your class. So I guess that about wraps it up for masteries. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or concerns or comments, feel free to reach out to me in Discord or in game. Otherwise, I'll just see you guys in game. Cheers for watching, and stay tuned for hopefully another video soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.